author and nutritionist Robert Ferguson. Please welcome Robert Ferguson.
All right, y'all, let's hear it for America's Fat Lost Coach, Robert Ferguson!
What's up, everybody? This is Robert Ferguson. Man, I have been wanting to come live or go live all day long. Yes, I'm your nutritionist and I share because I care. I've been wanting to do this all day long. And I want to talk about something. Yes, I want to talk about tortillas. We're going to talk about tortillas. Tortillas. Some tortillas can cause you to gain weight, and some tortillas can help you lose weight. So that's what we're going to talk about. So if you're here and you're new, pay close attention because you're going to have a better understanding of what I mean by tortillas that can help you get rid of some body fat, or tortillas that can help you, or maybe it's unwanted, but gain some body fat. And, hey, there's some people like Susie Lopez, like, hey, if you're talking about tortillas, then you're talking to me. And yes, we are talking to you. And so you help to inspire this, Susie. So Susie Q, we are happy to have you here. We are going to talk about tortillas because they're so interesting. I love tortillas. And it's so, what's amazing is I went to Trader Joe's today to get some food for the weekend because it's my birthday and it's also Father's Day. And I'm a father. I have two amazing, beautiful daughters. And you know what? I wouldn't mind having another one. I really wouldn't. So, hey, where are you? Where's that lady out there? Right? Okay, you guys are probably thinking Robert is losing his mind. Well, it is Friday, and it's a Fat Loss Friday. And if you have not gone over to our YouTube channel, I want to encourage you to do that. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell so that whenever we share information, you will be informed. Okay, so let's get right into this. Yes. We're talking about tortillas. There's some tortillas that is causing people to gain weight. And there are some tortillas that will help people lose weight. Now, everything I'm sharing with you is brought to you by our Detox Drop. So if you want to drop it like it's hot, drop blood pressure, drop fasting insulin, drop body fat, drop waistline, then check it out. Okay, go to our store. There's a link provided. You can learn more about it. Okay, let's talk about tortillas. Tortillas. You know what's interesting is that I have had clients, many clients, who are of Mexican descent, leave California, where I'm at, as my client, go to Mexico, and they're texting me, telling me what they're eating. They're eating tortillas like every day, like corn tortillas. Let's be clear, corn tortillas every day. And when they come back, they lose weight. So they ate corn tortillas, whereas in the States, they're avoiding corn tortillas. But also in Mexico, they're eating rice. But in the States, they're avoiding rice. But yet they go to Mexico and they're eating tortillas. Like breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's just part of every meal. And they're eating rice here and there. And they're eating beans. And they're eating all these foods that people tend to avoid in the States. But yet they come back to America and they're leaner. Well, I'm going to help you understand why that is. See, ultimately, you want to enjoy corn tortillas. Now, I've been to all 50 states in the United States of America. I've been to all provinces in Canada. I've been to Mexico, of course, and I've been throughout South America, whether it's Guatemala, Costa Rica, and the list goes on and on. And I've been abroad. And I've seen people make corn tortillas from scratch. I've seen the masa get blended up, water, a little bit of lime, and next thing you know, we have a corn tortilla. And people are eating that, and they're able to lose weight and be as healthy as possible. I mean, I've had people in certain countries take a corn tortilla, create a little bit of a fire on the ground, put the tortilla over it, and cook it like right there. Where it's like, man, is dirt getting on that? I mean, what's going on? And then pull it up. We add what we're going to add to it, and it was absolutely delicious. So corn tortillas are not bad, but when you travel around the country, right? Because I've been in various states, right? And I'll say, hey, can I get some tacos? Because I'll go into a Mexican restaurant and I'll say, can I get corn tortillas? And they go, oh, we don't have corn tortillas. I would say a large majority of the time as I'm traveling to different states, they will not have corn tortillas. They will only have flour tortillas. And there is a big difference between flour and corn. Corn is going to be more waistline friendly compared to flour. Does flour taste good? Depending on how it's cooked, it tastes good. Yes. Some people will go, oh, I love flour. Everybody's going to be a little different on it. But at the end of the day, if you want to think about your waistline and your lifeline, corn tortillas are going to be better for you. Okay? Now, with the Diet Free Life methodology, a full portion of what we call a fast carb, right? So we have fast carbs. So that could be rice, could be pasta, and we have recommended portions. Now, when it comes to a fat burning meal, when you eat a meal, what we call a fat burning meal, the portion size for a fast carb would be 4 corn tortillas. Now, you don't have to eat 4, but that is the portion size. The majority of the time when I eat my tacos, I'll have 2 corn tortillas, and I'm good there. I don't need to eat 4, but 2 would be enough, which would be a half portion of a fast carb, which means I have more room to add slow carbs like beans and salsa and tomatoes, right? And all of these other like slow carbs that I would like to have as part of my taco. But 4 is the recommended portion size for a full portion of a fast carb. But you could easily do 2. In this example, we have 3. You can, just max it out, right? Just blend everything out. And that would be a fat burning meal. And you're not going to have a problem with your blood sugar. You're not going to have a problem with losing weight. It's all going to work out. And you're eating Mexican food in a way that's getting you the results that you want. But corn is what you want to be shooting for. Okay. Now, here's a tortilla. And I just went online. I said, all right, let me just grab a tortilla. So Goya is a company that I hope to do work with. Well, we will do work with. And I've met Goya. I've been to their headquarters. And it's been a while, but we're going to be going back. But I just pulled these up and I was like, okay, Goya tends to have some decent products. And so if you look at this and you go in comparison to other ones, here you have Mission, and notice how they highlight protein. Now, I can't zoom in on this, but there's a lot of ingredients. And they've added protein. How did they add protein? This is extremely far from nature. And when it's far from nature, don't go by calories. Don't go by the fact that it's higher in protein. Because it's far from nature compared to a corn tortilla, it creates disruption in your gut microbiome that will stimulate more insulin secretion, which puts you in a position for all of the negatives that come about when you have high levels and consistent levels of insulin. It can block you from dropping body fat. So here we have a lot of people choosing, tortillas that are like high in protein, but yet they're just extremely processed. You're going to get a completely different experience eating something like this compared to if you went to Mexico and you watch them make it like scratch. All you got to do is think about what I'm telling you what I know to be true, what takes place in the gut microbiome. 100%. The further it is from nature, And a lot of you people get so caught up in protein, you are misinformed. You are misinformed. Hear me. You are misinformed. And please, if you know somebody who contradicts what I'm saying, bring them to me. We can have an open conversation about this. We are not missing protein, you guys. The marketing around protein is just pulling so many people in is absolutely ridiculous. And so you're buying something that's further from nature, creating way more disruption in your gut. The added protein ain't helping you because whatever protein you don't use in 24 hours gets converted to glucose, sugar, or stored as fat anyway. So as you're consuming all of this extra protein, thinking you need it because you're listening to the bodybuilder guy at the gym, or you're listening to the average person just recommending this and that, and you're like, okay, they must know because they look fit. You have been bamboozled. They don't know. So they're misinformed, you're uninformed, and you're listening to these people. It's mind-blowing to me. So for those who want to learn the truth, here's the truth, and I substantiate everything. These types of products do more harm than good. Look at it on the left, protein, plant-powered, pulls people right in. And you will choose that over something that was being consumed and used for thousands of years before products like this was created. I mean, come on. All you got to do is wake up and you will see that what I'm saying makes sense. People get caught up in buying. I'm telling you, I see a lot of fit people. I see a lot of physicians. I see nutritionists, dietitians. I see people who talk about health advocates. They're telling people to buy these kind of products. It is a joke. And they're getting away with it because people just aren't informed. These kind of products are just crazy. They are not doing anything for your gut. They're creating disruption. They're foreign. Now, I'm going to show you what a product we want it to look like, okay? Any questions on this before I move on? Because, you guys, closer to nature is always best, okay? And I've met people that will go, oh, well, yeah, if it has too many ingredients, I'm not going to buy it. Yep. If you look at the ingredients, most people are looking at, oh, it has higher protein. Oh, it's plant-powered. Oh, it's lower in calories. Yeah, let's get this one because it has more protein. They are buying products like this because it has more protein. And then they look at, oh, it has high fiber. Okay, yeah, we need the fiber. Not even understanding where the fiber is coming from. Oh, yeah, the 3 net carbs. Yeah, this is a good source of protein. You got hoodwinked. You're bamboozled. Go back to nature. Now, when you look at the first product that I showed you, Goya, and I want to go here for a second because I want you to be educated. If you look at the ingredients, right? So you see the first ingredient is ground corn. Okay, ground corn, that's great. Treat it with lime. Sounds good. Water. And then you see cellulose gum. How many of you guys know what cellulose gum is? Because some people would go, oh, I'm not going to get that. That's not something that I want to get. Well, there's a lot of ingredients. If you look at the one with the protein, there was probably 20 ingredients. This one does not have 20, but it does have some added ingredients. And these ingredients show up in a lot of what I would call close to nature products. And the reason why they show up is because they help with the shelf life, meaning it can sit on the shelf longer than if someone made a corn tortilla at grandma's house, right? And you're in Mexico City. Well, you can't take that corn tortilla that she just made and just put it out, on the shelf and think it's going to be good in 7 days. It's not. So they have to add things to food. And there's some benefits to this that can help it stay on the shelf longer. Now, there's some ingredients that are absolutely horrible. Whether you buy it and it's been on the shelf long or you bought it as soon as it went on the shelf. But cellulose gum is not one of those. So cellulose gum, it is a food additive. And manufacturers use this because it helps it's like a thickening agent and it's a stabilizer. But more importantly, it helps prolong the shelf life of that food. So that's what cellulose gum is, and it is considered safe. I wouldn't be concerned with that one. Okay. The next one is what they call propionic acid. Well, what the hell is that? Well, again, the main thing with this thing is that it inhibits the growth of mold that you see in bread. Okay, so it's a form of like fermentation. If you look at that one, it's a form of fermentation, and there's nothing negative about it. Okay, so it's good that you know that, because you'll see that in a lot of products, like bread-based products. So that's not one to be concerned with. The other ingredient that you'll see is what is called benzoic acid. And benzoic acid, in short, is a compound that's found, actually it's found naturally in a lot of foods. Like you can find it in cranberries, I think plums, prunes, but in its synthetic form, it helps with food preservation. So again, it's helping with that, and it helps to extend the shelf life by preventing bacteria growth. So again, this is good for human consumption, no problem. Then you have one in this product called phosphoric acid. Well, phosphoric acid is another trusted source. Even though it's a weird name, don't freak out over it, right? Because phosphoric acid is made from a mineral called phosphorus, which is found naturally in a whole bunch of different foods. Matter of fact, one of the first times I actually learned about phosphorus is as it pertains to being an athlete, right? So phosphorus helps our muscles recover after a hard workout. So there's no negative when you see phosphorus. So these are just things that help with shelf life. And then you have guar gum. You've probably seen that in a lot of products, right? Now, guar gum is made from legumes called guar beans. The main thing to know about guar gum, because you see it in a lot of foods, is that it is a food additive and is used to help thicken and bind food products together. It's usually high in soluble fiber. It's not high in calories, which is a positive, and that's a good thing. So even a product like this corn tortilla with Goya, it's okay because I understand what those ingredients are. Okay. So now let me show you what I discovered. So I go to Trader Joe's, and if you go to Trader Joe's, and you can see products like this in other stores, I buy the corn tortillas. Now look at the corn tortillas on the left. 99 cents. Are you kidding me? That is amazing. 99 cents. Okay. Now look at the ingredients on the right. Stone ground corn, number one. So that means that's the bulk of what this tortilla is made up of. Water, number two. Guar gum, I just told you about it. And traces of lime. Wow. That's a good corn tortilla. That's close to what grandma could make right in front of you. Right? Like that is like the real deal. Now they don't use guar gum, but they're going to use masa, or they're going to, stone ground. They can have the corn. They're going to use water, and they're definitely going to use lime. But because they don't need shelf life, they don't need guar gum. But for 99 cents? Oh, I mean, I don't know how you guys eat your, okay, this is one of the things that I do. And I was talking to Susie about this when we did our coach training yesterday. When I make breakfast in the morning, sometimes I'll scramble up some eggs, right? Once I scramble up the eggs, then I always have like some pre-cut veggies somewhere nearby. I always keep some salsa nearby. And I always have cheese, right, ready to go. Or I have avocado. So I'm cooking my eggs, but on the left side of my stove, I'm pan frying and just warming up my corn tortillas. And all I need is two. So it's a half portion of a fast carb, right? So I do one, flip it. I do it with a little bit of butter. Sometimes I start it with olive oil, flip it. Then I put it on like a plate. I put a plate on top of it to keep it warm while I'm doing the other one. I'm scrambling my eggs. I got my veggies ready to go. Now I got both my corn tortillas that are done. I take my eggs. Let's say it's 2 eggs scrambled. I take half of those eggs, put it on my corn tortilla. Other half on the other corn tortilla. lace it with a little bit of salsa. Take some chopped up avocado, put it in there. Sometimes I take my Cholula, a little hot sauce, sprinkle it in there. And then if I have extra veggies, like some onions, maybe some bell peppers, whatever I want, I'm feeling at that time, I put it in there. Sometimes I have some leftover mango because my kids don't eat it all. Put it in there. On a good day, sometimes I may even have some shrimp left over. I may put it in there instead of the eggs. Wrap that baby up. Boom! Fat burning meal. Come on. Come on. That is not sacrificing. That is a delicious, simple, less than 10-minute fat burning meal with using corn tortillas. And corn tortillas are not filled with all of this craziness unless you buy one that's selling you craziness. This simple corn tortilla that you can get at Trader Joe's for 99 cents, right? So if you take the eggs and the veggies that I put together with this, that meal will cost me less than $2. Less than $2, and I have a fat burning meal, and I'm good to go for a while. And that doesn't have to be just for breakfast. That could be lunch. That could be dinner. So these are the tortillas that I've been buying because very few ingredients, 99 cents. I mean, I don't know what else to say. 99 cents. Unless you just want to go spend more. 99 cents. Okay, so I've been wanting to share this about tortillas all day. So any questions about tortillas? And again, I'm favorable for corn tortillas. And when I travel and I go places and they don't have them, it just breaks my heart. It really does. Because that's not even real, legit, authentic Mexican food. That's Mexicali. That's like, I don't know, like anyone who's of Mexican descent, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see flour tortillas as legit, real Mexican food. Because when I was in Mexico, deep in Mexico, there was no flour tortillas. Now on the borders, if you go into Tijuana and some of like the, you're not deep in, they've been influenced by, I don't know, Texicali or whatever you call that, like Americanized stuff. I like corn tortillas. And when I was in Guatemala, it was corn tortillas. When I was in Costa Rica, corn tortillas. And other places, that the Dominican is corn. There is no flour. Now, someone just made a comment and they said, we have El Milagro here. What the hell is that? Now, I could pull up my app, but can you please tell me what El Milagro is? Okay. What is El Milagro? Tell me what that is. And then we can get out of here if nobody has a question. But corn tortillas, anyone who's wanting to drop body fat, anyone who's wanting to optimize overall health, do me a favor. Okay. Do me a favor and put focus more on corn tortillas and demand corn tortillas when you go to restaurants. Okay. Because that would be great. Okay. They just told me that El Milagro is a brand. Thank you very much. I didn't know that. Then someone says, what other alternative to Trader Joe's? We do not have a Trader Joe's where I live. I totally get that. Just keep in mind the type of tortilla that I just shared. It's not just at Trader Joe's. I've seen these types of tortillas in different places. Okay, so let me go back. Right, so just look at how few the ingredients are. Don't be afraid of guar gum because we just talked about what that is. So you could be anywhere and you can find really decent corn tortillas. They're everywhere. Okay, everywhere. And I've been, again, to all 50 states, all provinces in Canada, and many other countries. You can find corn tortillas everywhere. Now, you're going to find more what they call flour tortillas because that's the big push. It's more synthetic, is further from nature, And that's just the world we live in right now. They're just pushing that kind of stuff, like pushing, like all of this stuff that's far from nature, wondering why everybody's gaining weight, having a hard time losing weight. People have metabolic health conditions, unexplainable. They don't get it. They feel like they're eating healthy, but they're not. They're not. Okay. They're just not. Now, someone just made a comment that said, my Mexican friend's grandma made flour tortillas all the time. Okay. I don't know why she made flour tortillas based on what my experience has been, based on corn tortillas. Who knows? It's kind of like, I'll give you an example. I've had many of my friends who are Mexican born, and when they were young, their parents really wanted them to learn Spanish. But for whatever reason, at that time, they didn't want to learn Spanish. They wanted to just focus on speaking English. And they were embarrassed to speak Spanish. And if you've never met people, I've met a lot of people like this. And when they got older, they wish they weren't thinking that way, because they realized it would have been to their benefit to learn how to speak Spanish. But the same thing could be going on with the grandma. The grandma could have been introduced to, like, hey, flour is the way. That's more American. And maybe she was influenced by, I want to be more American when I make my tortillas, and I want to go with flour. But when I've done my studies back all the way to the Aztecs and the Mayans, it's always been corn. Flour was not the original. That was not part of the beginning. Not at all. The data is clear on that. That was an influence of flour that was in the States that got pushed into, Mexico. Or people who had come from Mexico to the States got influenced and started using flour instead of corn. That I know to be true. You can't argue. You can look that up. The data is there. You can go to Google and it's all right there. Okay. So let me see. Someone says that maybe because she lived here in the States. Well, I mean, I would say absolutely. There's an influence. People were afraid and shy to speak, Spanish at one point. Now everything's changed. Everybody's starting to realize the importance. Like if you speak Spanish, right? You want to speak Spanish. You want to make sure your kids grow up being able to speak Spanish as well as English. It's in the house. Why not? But I've seen the same thing happen with some of my friends who are Korean. Their parents wanted them to speak Korean, but they wanted to focus on English, and they felt for whatever reason they didn't want to learn how to speak Korean. But fast forward, as adults, they wish they had. And then some of them did. I mean, come on. If you go back and follow the history. Corn tortillas are closer to nature. Corn tortillas have way more benefit because it's closer to nature. You have less process, and we know through the studies of the gut microbiome that certain foods, the further they are from nature, the more they create disruption in the gut, and they stimulate a higher amount of insulin response. That's the facts. So you could have your opinion, but that's the facts. A corn tortilla does not stimulate more insulin in comparison to a flour tortilla. We know that. The studies are clear. It's not rocket science. It is what it is. It is what it is. We need to create more of a demand for corn. Where's the corn? Okay, so when I go to restaurants that are promoting Mexican food, whether I go to where I live, Yolanda's, they better have some corn tortillas, or that would just be disrespectful. And I haven't been to Taco Bell lately. I mean, my daughter likes Taco Bell, and we go there, and she likes to get her cheese quesadilla. I believe that's flour, but I'm going to look into it. I want to know, do they have corn? I don't even care about whole wheat. I want corn. I want corn tortilla. Now, the only thing negative about corn, if we went deeper, would be Is it corn that's coming from Monsanto? Has it been genetically modified? I mean, I don't know. But I know corn is closer to nature than something made out of flour. Okay. So here we go. Our tortilla expert, Susie Lopez, says discrimination, assimilation, etc. People had to abandon their cultures. Well, I agree. I mean, that happened with the black communities. That's happened with a lot of people. And now a lot of people are like lost, or they're trying to figure out who they are and trying to reconnect. I mean, in one of our upcoming talks, I'm going to talk about chocolate, right? Because I used to do a seminar called Wine, Chocolate, and Weight Loss. Well, not used to. I still do it. I just haven't done it lately. But it's been my number one seminar for many years. Wine, chocolate, and weight loss, because I know the detailed history of both wine and chocolate. And I marry the two and share all of the health benefits around wine and chocolate. And one of the things about chocolate is that there was this guy named Casanova. And if you look up Casanova, Casanova was all about the ladies. And he would use chocolate as an aphrodisiac because they would melt it and then make it more of a drink. You know how like you give someone a glass of wine, or maybe offer someone a glass of tea or coffee? He was offering them this rich, dark chocolate from the cocoa beans, and it would get them in the mood. And that's why he's called Casanova. So I'm not going to go into great details, but that's kind of where he gets his name from. It's a true story. Casanova, I mean, come on. Casanova, ladies' man. He was all about the chocolate. And, one of the things I used to do in my talks, I would say, you guys know what it's like. Yeah. What would I say? I would say, so what do you guys think about chocolate? Or I would say, no, you know what they say about chocolate? And a lot of you, your mind probably went to a dirty place. Did you go to a dirty place? And and I'm saying dirty, I'm just playing around. So I would ask that question. You guys, you know what they say about chocolate? And then, somebody would say, well, once you go black, I go, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that once you go chocolate, the sweeter the experience, the darker the chocolate. And then I would go into this whole riff and talk about chocolate. And I have a whole little song that goes with it. I'm not going to share it today, but chocolate is our friend, you guys. It's packed with antioxidants. It's packed with polyphenols. Nothing but health benefits when it comes to chocolate, as well as mood benefits. So chocolate can be our friend. A piece of chocolate, if you had that as a snack, you don't worry about gaining body fat. You're good. Now, if you went with white chocolate, which is not really chocolate, it's candy, or you went with the really milk chocolate, it still has benefits, but nowhere near something that's over, I would say, 45, 50% dark chocolate. You find a chocolate like that, and there's quite a few these days, even with almonds, etc. I've even had one that was like 70% dark chocolate with almonds in it, like yummy peanuts. So they've really gotten it down. The science has improved big time. And then when I buy a chocolate that's say over 90% dark chocolate, it's so bitter that you're not going to eat a lot of it. So for those chocolate lovers who want to eat some chocolate, but yet not overindulge, then go with a higher percentage of dark chocolate. It would help you out. Let's see here. Catherine asked a question. It's a great question. Is white chocolate good also? No. White chocolate is actually considered candy. It's candy. So even though they use the word chocolate around it, it's candy. You might as well eat some jelly beans. Okay. Mission accomplished. All right. So we talked about the tortilla. I believe we have clarity with the corn tortilla. The corn tortilla can be your friend. All right. We good? Any questions before I say goodbye? It's so hard to say goodbye to right now. Woo! I know. Look at Catherine, all upset that white chocolate is not good. Hey, Catherine, as a coach, I'm glad that you picked that out because that will help a lot of people, that they know that you get it. White chocolate is yummy. Okay, corn tortillas is our friend. So enjoy your corn tortillas. Oh man, and you guys, look, it's Fat Loss Friday. Mission accomplished. It's been a good week. Donna, I'm gonna give a shout out to Donna Wilson. She did the detox drop. She was ready. I mean, this lady dropped some serious body fat. Like, we've had a few people drop some serious weight inside of 7 days, and they felt great, wasn't hungry, and it really got them, the start that they were looking for. So kudos to all of you. And someone said I'm a mess. They didn't put their name, but you know what? Robert Ferguson, that's what makes me fun. I am a Gemini. And by the way, my birthday is on Sunday. Sunday is my birthday. So I was like, I was wondering, should I put something out there? Like, can somebody take me out to eat? I mean, well, my whole thing is on my birthday. If anyone who's followed me for at least 10 years, I always spend my birthday with my daughters. That is like my time with them. So that's where I have fun. I don't want to do anything other than be with them. That's just it. That's where my joy is for my birthday, right? And obviously I love other people, and I would like to, I mean, my mom lives in Indiana. It would be great to be around my mom and my aunt and my cousins and my niece and all of those amazing people in my family. But that's thousands of miles away. So in my little family, it's me, because I don't have a significant other. I'm a single guy. And so it's me and my daughters. And we have a great time. So this year is pool time, eat really good food. And good food doesn't mean crazy food that causes you to be unhealthy. But like, I'm eating some oysters, I can tell you that much. And I'm going to have a slice of New York style pizza. That's my cake. And other than that, it's just fun. I'm going to watch them go shopping. And yeah, I want to see them do things and be happy, because it gives me a smile on my face, right? Because as we mature in life, we only have so much time on this earth, right? So the goal is to make the most of it. And part of making the most of it is seeing our kids experience real positive things. So all of you parents, you know what I'm talking about. So just sitting back and watching them have a good time is one of the biggest gifts I could ever get. And that's who I am. And I don't see myself changing anytime soon. So, and it's not like I don't give myself time for me. Trust me, I have a lot of time for me. But I like to spend my birthday and being thankful that I have played a part in having these two amazing kids who have become these little adults with attitudes and their own opinion, which as you guys get, is like, it's not always enjoyable at the moment. You're like, damn, how did they even get to a place where they think that way? Which, they're not going to take on our thoughts 100%, because they're influenced by teachers and preachers and other parents and other family members and friends that they meet. So it's not just about what we think. They're not going to become replicas of us. They will develop their own thoughts. But if our thoughts and what we share and how we lead are good enough to get their attention and attractive enough in a way that they go, I want that, then they'll do it, right? So it's not so much what we tell kids, it's really much about what they see and what makes sense to them, then they'll embrace. So they know their daddy is fun, and they know their daddy like can deal with stress and can just keep the energy positive. And if they get that from me, then that makes my birthday even that much better. And so far, I'm seeing that they're getting that. So I'm thankful for that. All right, you guys, this was great. Thank you. I'm glad you guys were able to be here. I am Robert Ferguson, your nutritionist, a guy who cares. That's why I share. And if you have not been to our YouTube channel, go there. Some of you guys are so old school that you just stay on Facebook. Go to YouTube. There's so much information on YouTube. And I'm going to be putting a lot of energy and emphasis into our YouTube channel as things progress and move forward. So I just want you to be there because you never know what can happen with Facebook. It could be here today and gone tomorrow. And connect on different platforms if you can. YouTube is just another one. And there's a lot of stuff there, a lot of stuff. Not all good, but there's a lot of good. All right. That's my time. I got to go. Peace out. Until the next one. If you have questions, go to dietfreelife.com. Got to go.